Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
It's
Get
a
your food shakedown.
Let's go.
You might do it, kick thing back here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast with Philly 500 and Joey Shakes. This is a special day because I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow. So what is going on, Joey Shakes, my man?
No, I'm good, man. Want to apologize for this past week. We didn't have the show. Well, technically is the week, but we kind of skipped on a week. We canceled a few times because the schedule overlap. So want to apologize for that.
Yeah, so we definitely apologize for that. What is going on, everybody? Thank you for being here. Marco, Chris North, Trey, Andrew, Ronan, Shrek, Real Recognized Gaming, Danny, George, Andrew, Daniel Reese, Donnie, J-Dog, Mr. International, my man, Trey, Chris, what is going on? Little G Griffith, thank you guys so much for being here. And, man, the schedule came out. The schedule. Trying to think what else has happened in the past week. It seems like a lot of different things have been going on.
Yeah.
But really, I guess the biggest thing was the schedule came out, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask your opinion on that. But before I do that, I do have something I want to ask you about, okay? Because this is kind of today happening. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Here we go. NFL owners next week will vote on a proposal to change the playoff seeding format, where teams would be strictly by regular season record, strictly by regular season record rather than automatically awarding a top four seed to a division winner. If teams have the same record, a division title would serve as a first tiebreaker. And after the first round, teams would reseed. So the number one seed always plays the lowest remaining seed. And they're saying the NFL wants to increase competitiveness and excitement and reduce teams resting starters week 17 through 18. What are your thoughts on this?
I just heard about this just now. I didn't even hear about it.
I figured I'd throw it on you because it just broke a while ago.
So you're basing everything off of not division wins. So they take out like anything within your division to what you do in the regular season. Just a straight up wins, losses. Doesn't matter if it's AFC or NFC. None of that.
Well, no, it'll still be conferences, still have division winners.
Okay.
But when you seed the playoffs, the best record would be seeded first. So let's say you get a 14-win wild card team, or 12-win wild card team.
Right.
They would be seeded number 2 instead of 5. So technically, they would be the 2 seed, and a division winner would be the 5th seed. Think of it last year, because last year I think it was Minnesota had a really good record, and then they had to go on the road in the division or out in the conference and play. So now what they're basically doing is making it so the wild card team could be seeded as high as number 2.
Yeah, I mean, even like just say you're a team that really isn't that strong in your division, that maybe, you lose a good amount of games within your division and maybe play better outside of your division. I guess it makes it much easier, gives you more of a fighting chance at the end of the year. So you're not, kind of just like whatever, team is down, and it gives them more of a fighting chance at the end of the year. But I don't know. I didn't even hear about this at all. So this is for next year.
This is possibly for this upcoming season. They're voting next week. Yeah, they're voting next week. Now, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. I'm going to explain why I hate this. I think this is stupid. I think the NFL is ruining their own product. The reason I hate this is because basically what you're doing is you're saying it doesn't matter. The division doesn't matter. If you win a division, the whole point of winning a division is that you get a home playoff game. You're guaranteed one of the top 4 seeds. You get at least one home playoff game. That's what the division does. And it also, means that there are teams within your division that you play and you want to win. And it means something. If you do this where the wild card team could be seeded higher than a division team, you've essentially made winning the division worthless. Doesn't mean anything. It's just, oh, wow, you won the division. Who cares? And then what happens after that? Well, then what do the rivalries matter between Washington, Dallas? And I think it hurts all those kind of things. I mean, you might as well just have 2 conferences. The top 8 teams make the playoffs. You don't need division anymore. So I think it's really stupid. And I think if the NFL does this, it's so dumb. I think they've already watered down the product enough with all these, Thursday night games, and then they have now Friday games and Black Friday games, and then they want Christmas Day games, and it's like you're killing you're like too much sometimes isn't good. Yeah. So I think they're like watering their product down. And that's how I see it.
And I think watering the product down too is, is you're paying for everything separately too, because I think part of it is, NFL Sunday ticket's expensive. You're paying like $430 for a Sunday ticket. You got to pay for Amazon Prime. I know there's a game on Netflix this year. I know our game's going to be on Peacock, our first game on Thursday, as well as NBC. So, it's making people kind of like, this is just a cash grab type league now, on top of it. So this is really surprising. And I think it would just ruin just, how we have fun with the seeding and in-division wins and conference wins. And, it makes it not some smooth ride just because it's without those rules. So I think it would completely ruin it. So I probably agree with you.
Yeah. I think it ruins it. I mean, it's just like, what's the point? Like, okay, like, all right, like you get like Minnesota people bitching last year because they don't get a home game. But if you're so good, why can't you go win and beat the division team with the worst record? You still lost the game. If you're so good, you should be able to win the game. I think it basically it just really destroys the game, the division and the rivalries, and then it's like, it's like, what's the point of that, putting teams in a division? Then why are you playing Dallas twice a year? Why do you need to play Washington and the Giants twice a year? It ruins it. It unravels.
Just take it out. Just take it out at that point. And if it's just record and it's just record and that's it, just take it out.
Yeah. And that's what they'll eventually do. That's what it'll eventually lead to. Yeah. Luke says, this is dumb. It will lower the value of divisional games. It will just feel like another NFC conference game. Yeah, I totally agree. And like I said, then they're going to say, well, we don't need the divisions. And, oh, you know what? Why do we need to have Washington play the Eagles twice a year in Dallas? We could get more games with teams playing each other if we just do, basically scrap the whole thing. Yeah. So I think it ruins the game. Hopefully this does not pass. I don't know how much they're pushing it. It's like these crybaby teams, but teams like Minnesota, Green Bay, these teams cry like little babies about stuff. Yeah. And then they run to change everything, Right. This is a really bad idea.
Do you think,
in my opinion,
do you think the tush push is going to get overturned?
No, I think it's gone. Yeah, I think it's absolutely 100% gone. Yeah. Look, the league is doing whatever they can to destroy it, to go after the Eagles. They, you're going to take away the tush push. You've given the Eagles one of the weirdest schedules I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. And then look at all the executives leaving the Eagles. How does a team have all these executives are all going to different teams? It's like they're forcing our guys out, man.
Well, that's normal though. I mean, that's normal. We had a bunch of people.
There's a lot of executives, like a lot of senior scouts, guys have been there 20-something years.
There's guys that they want to promote to a better job that are doing a good job now. So I mean, there's guys like like Andrew Berry and Andy Weidel and Brandon Hunt, the new guy that just left to go to the Raiders now. So I mean, they're losing guys, but
they just lost somebody again today. like a senior scout or something.
Mm.
It's crazy. They're after us. They are after us. The NFL needs a new commissioner, but somehow the owners are brainwashed to think Goodell is so good. I know, it's true. So that's 4 subscriptions to watch 2 hours of commercials a week. I have no idea. What are you talking about?
Well, between watching everything on football, like
the
you still gotta
games,
watch.
I
You
know.
still gotta watch commercials on top of paying
Crazy.
for it.
I think they showed that, like, if you get everything, which I do, it's like over $1,500 a year to watch football. It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It just, like, like, I don't know, man. When I was growing up, Sunday night football was an event. Monday night football was huge. It was huge. And now it just feels like, eh. And then Thursday games were like, wow, that's Thanksgiving. That's the holidays. And now it's just like it's like you can't even, I don't even watch every single game because it's just, they put so many games on primetime, and let's face it, they don't put the best games on. The whole rule that every team gets to play one game on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to see half those teams, dude.
True.
They stink. They stink. So, who knows? People are really having us losing to all the elite teams and shit record like we're the best team. I mean, it's crazy what people think of the Eagles to me. It really is. Hey, Warrior Rage says, then abuse creeps in, and the set teams' favorite teams will get cupcake schedules, while other teams will always have impossible schedules. It's true. Yeah, it's hard to work to build a team. So lower the bar, I guess. Yeah. Hey, 500. What is your favorite cigars to smoke? The best one I've ever had was a Cuban. That was the best I ever had. I'm not saying it's the best out there, but that's the best I've ever smoked. Mr. International goes, one of my OGs asked, why is everyone still talking about football right now? I said, hello, the NFC schedule moves like Pickens to the Cowboys, right? The NFL is really a 365-day league right now. I mean, to me, there's enough stuff going on from the end of the season, free agency, the draft, the schedule, OTAs, mini camp, like to keep you going. It's that, like, right after the last mini camp, early June to when they start training camp end of July. That's the time where it's like nothing.
Yeah,
there's nothing. I mean, it's slow
true.
right now. Like this stream is really slow. I also think StreamYard's really weird today. I had to kept trying to load it up. It didn't want to go to YouTube for some reason. It was trying to get me to remove the YouTube link. It's weird. So
interesting.
But yeah, it is interesting. So what did you think of the schedule?
I looked at it, and so the Eagles have what? Well, number one, I think for me and you, because this is what we love to see every year, is there's no holiday games. Hey, no holiday games, no Christmas Eve.
Boy,
no
we were
Christmas.
sweating that one, weren't we?
Well, there was a rumor that we were going to have a Christmas game against Green Bay, and then there were some other rumors. I forgot what they were. But I'm looking at the schedule, like, besides, like, I think the beginning is the first 3 games gets, besides the Cowboys, I think you get by them obviously on Thursday night, but really KC, the Rams, and Tampa Bay. Those are 3 tough ones, especially when you get into the regular season. You're going off of one game against the Cowboys, should be a cakewalk anyway. You got no players playing in some of these preseason games. It's going to take a few weeks, and to hit us with 3 teams like that, it's going to be a tough one. Weeks 2 to 4 are going to be tough. But I think really, if they can get at least 2 out of 3 of those games, get by a few weeks later, kind of go smooth through a little bit, get to your week 9 bye, which I think is a really good bye week. Between weeks 9 to 11, I think is a really good bye. I think that's
I don't know what I'm thinking. Let me pull this mother humper up. Let me see. Can I move this like this? Yeah. I can remove that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. But hold on. Let me add this to stage, and then I can pull it up like that. I think. Just making sure we can see it. So, yeah, you open with Dallas, right?
Right.
And I mean, Thursday night. See, the only other Thursday night game I don't mind is I don't mind season opening game on Thursday. That and then the
Yeah.
2 Thanksgiving games. To me, that's all there should be.
Right.
But I mean, so we got the Dallas, you got Kansas City, you got the Rams, right? And then you got Tampa. I mean, you got all playoff teams the first, except for Dallas. 2 weeks 2 through 5 are all playoff teams.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a gut punch. I mean, especially when you're trying to gel, it's going to take a few weeks. Like, your defense might take a few weeks. Like, but the league is treating us like, I mean, they had us losing those 3 games anyway, or at least weeks 2 to 4 they had us losing. But depending what you do in the off season, how ready they're going to be, like, those are 3, 4 gut punching games that you got to play right in the beginning, and you got to be on your shit too. So
yeah, no, I mean it's true. I mean, see, I think they win week 1. I think we don't have to go through the whole week win-loss thing, but I think week 1 they win. I think okay, we'll say probably. I think they're going to win week 2, but I have to give them a loss somewhere.
Yeah, one of those 4 games is definitely going to be a loss.
So that's 1-1. I think they beat the Rams. Many people don't think they'll beat Tampa. I honestly think they're going to kill Tampa. Like, I think Tampa has gotten very lucky when they've played us. No A.J. Brown the last year. We're still kind of finding ourselves. The playoff, when we got destroyed by them in the playoffs, I mean, dude, that team was collapsed and had quit already.
Yes.
It wasn't Tampa Bay. It was us. So I think we could win that game. I mean, I think the Eagles are going to start. I have about 12 to 14 wins, closer to 14 than 12. That's what I have. I have them.
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, I mean, I think you could shut out the Cowboys. I think you could shut out the Giants. You have the Giants week 6 Thursday night, week 8. So and then you're gonna have to probably split with Washington. I would think they have Washington at the end of the year because both those teams will probably be at the at the peak record wise in seeding, depending if the Eagles lock something up there by week 16. We'll see. Week 18 will probably be sitting players, so you could probably say there's a loss down there somewhere. But I think having that bye week 9, and then coming off that bye week to have 2 primetime games against 2 really tough teams, playoff teams there, I think is a perfect bye to face those 2 teams. So
I think, I think it's interesting because the one thing about this schedule is there's no multiple home games. There's not one game where you get 2 home games at a time. They don't get any back-to-back home games at all. Chris Colbert says they start 7-1. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. 500. Your boy Mark has lost his mind, man. So worried about the Eagles. I can't see that. He's going to start off 0-4. Then he really thinks Dallas is going to kill us week 1. He's nuts, man. Look, Mark has gone completely insane, dude. He's completely. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get that up so I can see the damn schedule. But I don't know. Mark's nuts. But as far as the schedule goes, like I said, I mean, no back-to-back games, But if you look at it, I got them. I'll beat Dallas. Well, I'll say split with Kansas City. I think they beat the Rams. I think they beat Tampa. I think they beat Denver. I think they beat the Giants. I think they beat the Vikings. The Giants. I got it 7-1 after the bye. I think that's about right. The Green Bay game is going to be tough because that's going to be like Green Bay's Super Bowl.
Or everybody's Super Bowl. It's
going
everyone's
to give us the best shot. Let's say they go and they lose that game, just whatever, and then they beat Detroit. I think they sweep Dallas. The one interesting game on this, there's a couple things. One, I think the league made a couple mistakes. Like, you put Washington, Buffalo, Washington. Like, that's not going to help Washington. The Commanders are going to be waiting all year to play us. I think when you get to that final game versus the or that first game versus the Commanders, I think that's going to be a division clinching game right there, because I think their record's going to be good enough at that point. And secondly, Buffalo Buffalo week 17. Buffalo plays in a weak division. So the chances are that Buffalo is probably not even going to need that game. Maybe both teams won't need that game.
Maybe sick guys out those 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's got an easy schedule in terms of like they got a weak division. I think they're going to have a really good record, and the only thing they may be fighting for is home field advantage. But in terms of division, I think it's going to be locked up. So that may be a break where the Eagles don't play them, because I think they're going to be really good. Like I actually think I think the Super Bowl this year is the Eagles Buffalo. I think Buffalo, this is the year they get by Kansas City. So that's my prediction for the Super Bowl. So it'll be interesting to see how much that game means.
I mean, the Chargers game too. I mean, look, you have the Bears obviously Black Friday. Then you're in LA, and that game will be a home game for us away. A lot of Eagle fans travel in LA. So I think that'll be a good thing too. But it really just comes down to really the first few weeks, you know, and how ready they are, you know. And the next thing we got to not worry about, but the next thing we got to kind of put into our heads now is Kevin Patullo. Like that's a whole nother thing. You know, you got your roster together. You had a good draft. They did a really good job. Now it's putting the pieces together offensively. Not really about the defense too much, but offensively, we shouldn't be worried either. But Kevin Patullo now is the new OC that's been here the last few years, and you're expecting excellence since he's been here. He's not a brand new guy just coming in this year. So that'll be our next question going into training camp and how everything's looking offensively.
Yeah. So. Monica Lewis says, what? So so the starters can't rest at the end of the seasons. These players already put enough on their bodies. Rewarding less is what the site has come to. So now no one wants to work for anything. I'm assuming you're referring to the change of the rules in the playoff seeding. I'm assuming, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's what we're talking about. That's one of the reasons why they want to change the rule.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's stupid. I just don't know why they undermine their own product. You know, here's what I'll say about this schedule. If the Eagles, in my opinion, if the Eagles take care of the Rams, the Lions, okay, if they beat the Rams, the Lions, the Bucks, and they split with Washington, I think they're the number one seed in the conference. Because you're talking about having the tiebreaker over the Rams, over the Lions, even over Green Bay, and probably Washington. So to me, Rams, Detroit, Washington, you get those three in the bag, I think the chances that you're the number one seed is really, really good. Really, really good. That's how I look at it. I mean, I don't see Dallas as a threat. I really don't. I know Dallas fans think they're like they've arrived, but I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I mean, if it's basing off of the Pickens trade, I mean, it's not even long term. It's a 1 year thing with him.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they're paying him, and he's got no loyalty towards that team. So,
No, I mean, but they still don't have a running game. I mean, there's no threat in the run game.
No,
I still think you can run on it. Look, if you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run in this league, I don't think you can win. And those are the two things I think Dallas is going to have a problem with.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I think 12 to 14 wins. I think more close to 14 than 12. But I give it a little wiggle room because you know how it is. There's always a game that you don't think you should ever lose that you lose somehow, and there's games that you shouldn't have won. You play bad and then you pull it out the end. So I think that's it. I got the Eagles with number one seed again. And it'll be interesting. Like I think the Rams are going to be really good. I think the Rams have a problem with the Eagles in the run game. They can't stop the run. I think Detroit, I don't know what to make of Detroit. Like, I think they're going to be good, but are they going to be that good? Like, how good are they really going to be?
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, well, on top of everything else, like your coordinators. I mean, not even they lost coordinators. They lost a lot of their assistant coaching. So that's a lot. So they replaced pretty much, besides the head coach, they replaced like their whole coaching staff. So
They
that's,
did.
they had a lot of injuries last year. They had like 16 to like 19 players on IR, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So it'll help for some players to come back, but depends on the coaching really, in which direction they go.
No, it's true. So I mean, I feel, I feel pretty good about the schedule, as even though it's hard. I admit it's a hard schedule. I still feel pretty good about it. I still think like I don't know. I mean, is there one game that you look at there and you go, "Oh, we're not winning that game"? Like there's not one game that I'm going to be thinking, "Oh, we never had a chance in that game." Like I feel like we could go in at any time and win any one of those games.
Really, knocking off the rust is the most important thing to me. Knocking off the rust. Like that's, you're coming off of preseason games. Starters aren't even going to play. They're going to play a half a series to maybe a series. And then, practice is practice. Game minutes are game minutes. So, how many weeks is that since the first preseason game? It's a lot of weeks that they're just practicing. And yeah, they might be running the offense during practice, but it's not the same as being in a game. And we talked about this the last few years on, do we agree with that? Should they play a little bit more? But I mean, I guess it's working, but it's going to look sluggish in the beginning. It's going to. It's always going to look sluggish. So you got to keep that in mind.
It's true. It's definitely true. Let me see. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think what else.
I know we didn't talk about it. Dallas Goedert is re-signed with the Eagles.
That's right. Yeah, Goddard is back. I think it looked like the way that the draft fell, they didn't get a tight end early, and they really didn't have a choice. I mean, what was their choice? If you don't bring Goddard back, what do? You create a giant hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it was awesome that Goddard's back, and I'm very thankful that he's back. No doubt about it. Stuo Blaze, thank you for the super chat.
Thanks,
appreciate you. Yo, fellas, what's going on? What's going on with you? How are you?
How are you, Stuo?
And then the other thing now we got this whole. To me, what's unbelievable is the Cowboy fans and Washington fans. People are starting to finally see that Washington fans can be really, really annoying. Like I think people didn't realize it for a long time how annoying they can be. But they really could be annoying. They're talking about, hey, we got more primetime games than you guys and all this sort of thing.
If you're showing that clip, I got copyrighted for it, so I don't know.
Oh, get the hell out of here! Really?
Yeah, I did. I had to re-upload my video and block it out because it copyrighted me. So if you're gonna show it,
you know what? I played it at the end, and I put video over it of like 4-second clips of football of action because I was worried. That's crazy. They blocked you. I'm not gonna play it if
it did.
Block.
100% did it last night.
You think it would block the audio of it?
No, it doesn't. The audio. No, I didn't upload the video yet, but I re-uploaded it. I just blurred it, and it was fine. Audio is fine.
I'm trying to think, how do I play it with not showing it though? I don't know. I don't think I can do it. That's crazy. Well, I can't show it then, so I won't. I'll pull up the clip, not the clip. The
play it from your phone. Yeah.
I don't want to play it and get us copyrighted. But
if it's audio, you're fine.
Yeah, it's not audio though. It's not. I don't know how to play just the audio of it. So
I have it on my phone. If you want it,
I was just gonna pull up the. Can't believe they copyrighted you, dude. Yo, YouTube has been killing me. I get in about 2-3 videos a day right now getting copyright claimed. From 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, no, that's happening to me too.
It's happening every day right now. Like they're on a warpath. They're on my ass right now. So I don't want to mess with nothing because I know they got those algorithms. They're looking for any reason to get my ass. When they try to claim JD is better than Hurts, is what fries my brain. Yeah, he's better than Hurts. He's the premier quarterback of the league. They've got the most primetime games, although they count 4 p.m. games as prime time, you know. And then you get the Cowboys. Not only the Cowboys, the players. I mean, Micah Parsons, dude. Micah Parsons, dude, literally said that they're going to beat us 24-21. Like, how could you call that right now? I think it's crazy. And then you guys saw this, and this is what I was going to show that Joey said he got copyrighted for, so I don't want to take a chance. But Cowboys star Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb roast Eagles standout corner Quintin Mitchell. Parsons says, the Eagle fans talking about you going to Guantanamo Bay, he called it. Lamb says, stop the cap. I ain't never been locked down. Although when he did play Quintin Mitchell last year, this was his numbers, right? So notable wide receivers held under 35 yards in 2024. This is Quintin Mitchell. Christian Watson, Drake London, Chris Olave, Mike Evans, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase. Lamb had 1 catch, I believe, for 5 yards when Quintin was on him.
Yeah, and I thought the other game. I saw a game. No, last year I think he had another game. I think 21 yards against the Eagles. It was only like 21. So he did a great. Now he's not going to play him all the time. He's not going to play him a lot because CD's going to be in the slot. It's going to be Cooper. DeJean's going to be on his edge. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I know part of it was that they didn't have a quarterback. I get that, but I don't know where I don't know where all this shit talking by the Cowboys players and their fans is coming from because you got Pickens. I just don't understand it, you know. And I can pull up their schedule too in a little bit. We can go through that. I think they win 8 or 9 games. I mean, I don't think they're going to win that many games.
Yeah.
B-Scar, thank you for the super chat, my man. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Because the 2025 schedule is fire. About to be some bangers every week. I'm not worried about any teams on that schedule. Teams should be worried about us. Agreed. I mean, dude, the only game that I can look at that schedule and say, well, yeah, you know what? I feel like that may be the tough game would be that Buffalo game. Like, you know, if you need it, that's a tough game. But there's no game on that schedule I don't think we can't win. And now I'm not going to be upset. I'll be upset if we don't win every one of those games. Even the Kansas City game, you know, it's like I'm fine. I'm like, all right, well, I have to put a loss somewhere. Where am I going to put it? Because I think the Eagles are going to win every game, but I know that that's not realistic, you know.
Right.
And here's just bring up the Cowboys schedule real quick, right? This is what I'm saying, right? So they play the Eagles, they're going to lose. Then they get the Giants week 2. Then they got to go to Chicago. I don't think that them in Chicago. I don't think that's a guaranteed win. Because you don't know where Chicago is going to be. They do have some talent. They got a new coach. We'll see. Then they got Green Bay. I don't think they beat Green Bay. Then they get the Jets. Okay, they win. They beat Carolina. Fine. Are they going to beat Washington? I don't know. Then they got to play Denver. Are they going to beat Denver? I don't think so. Maybe they beat Arizona. Who knows? Maybe they beat the Raiders. But then they lose to the Eagles. They lose to Kansas City. They lose to Detroit. They lose to Minnesota. They lose to the Chargers. I mean, they're going to win like 8 games.
Oh, they got.
I got like 8 games here.
They got. It's hard for. I mean, I don't know how Cowboy fans could really see how even kind of say what they're going to win this year because they have a lot of question marks even with their quarterback this year coming off an injury. I mean, with no run game, maybe some mid-tier protection, probably not even that, depending on how that goes. And yeah, you're going to have Pickens into the lineup now, which will help CeeDee Lamb, and they'll move him around if they have to. But
I mean, there's a lot of questions on their offensive line, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have a rookie at guard. You got the Guyton wasn't that great. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, the only guy on that line I think is definitely solid is BB is the center. Other than that, I think they're all questionable. So, you know, and your first game, you're going to go up against Jalen Carter. Good luck with that. Good luck.
Yeah.
So I think the Cowboy fans are.
Yeah.
I think they're crazy.
All they did was give the Eagles bulletin board material with that. That's all they did because that's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you haven't heard Quintin Mitchell respond at all.
No,
he hasn't responded at all, and I like it. Don't say nothing. Keep it quiet.
Just play.
And let's get
That's
these
it.
mother humpers when the time comes,
Yeah.
Dockers says, Philly, how can you say you want the Eagles Bills Super Bowl then have doubts we can beat them in the regular season? I didn't say I doubt that they could beat them. What I said was if I look at all the games and I say which is the hardest game on the schedule, that to me would be the hardest game. Buffalo late December if both teams need it. Now, like I said, I think the Eagles could beat everybody on that schedule. But when you do a win-loss prediction, what I'm saying is you can't say, well, I think they're going to go undefeated. That's not realistic, So I have to say, all right, well, I'll give them a loss to Kansas City. All right, maybe I'll give them a loss to Buffalo because you're trying to put losses on there because they should beat everybody. No, the Eagles and Bills is my Super Bowl pick. And I think that's the toughest game that they're going to play on their schedule. I think that's the only game that Vegas has the Buffalo Bills favored. The Eagles are favored in every other game right now, except for that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not having doubts we can beat them. I'm saying that if you're going to predict the schedule, you can't go 17-0. That's not realistic. Splendid says 500. Every team pencils our game as a loss for them, and we are the scariest team in the NFL. I agree. Totally agree.
Agreed.
Let's see. It's Thomas away. Q getting his ring size. He don't have time to say shit to us. I know, right? It's unbelievable. Webfoot, thank you for super chat. He goes, "Can I get a brother screwed us clip? Dallas sucks." I don't have it. I don't have anything fired up for that. You'll get it on the way out, though. We'll get it on the way out. And thank you for the super chat. But Dallas does stink, and the brothers did screw him. We will get that clip up at the end. 500. Remember when Dallas Cowboys' whole offense and defense was injured? Mitchell's gonna have his hands full when he play you bum ass. Oh God. Yeah, they're always injured. Dallas has been injured for 30 years. Dallas has been injured for 30 plus years. Man, I look at the guys that got coming back this year. They're starters. I don't think they're all that.
Yeah.
No, there's not a shakedown tomorrow. My kids got a school plays going on. So I forgot a month ago my wife bought tickets for that and it's tomorrow night. So I couldn't do it tomorrow. So we're doing it instead. Jeremiah Butler says, did you see the video of Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Clown, Guantanamo Bay? Yeah, I was going to play it, but Joey said he got copyrighted on it. So I couldn't play it because I didn't want to take a chance. It's funny though that I can't play it because I don't know how to play just the audio of it. See if I add it to the stream. How do I hide it? That's the question.
I don't think you can if it's a video you're showing.
Let me try something. Hold on. Let me do something. All right. Can you hear that?
Joe.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I can play it.
Okay.
All right, so just give me a sec here. All right, let me pause it and let me get rid of it. And then this is the audio. So this is the exchange. This is them talking crap on Quintin Mitchell. You ready? You think I can get away with this, right?
Yeah, audio. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. That Guantanamo Bay don't last over here, man. That shit dead.
What is that?
That's what they call Quintin Mitchell.
What?
You guys are right here.
They said Guantanamo Bay. That's where they said you headed.
Wow.
I said, they crazy.
Y'all ever seen Prison Break?
Stop the cap.
Ever seen Prison Break?
My captain can't.
They said, oh, see, now they drag. I think Eagles fans are here.
I don't care. Who's in
They
here?
talking about you going to Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay.
All right, so
I ain't never been locked down on this.
He never been locked down.
Guys are just.
And then there's a whole other clip that came out I saw earlier where he's like, yeah, we're going to go in there. We're going to win 24-21. Calling it right now. It's like, oh, okay, Micah.
He's so bad for them, bro. He
I
really
mean,
is.
I honestly like him. Like, I think he's a good player. I like him. Like, he don't bother. His personality doesn't bother me. It's just that he's a Cowboy that bothers me. You know, it's like I get it. The guy wants to win, but man, that those Cowboy fans, they really think they're like this like top notch team right now. 12-win team. It's crazy.
Micah knows how to stir up the Eagle fans. Like he's been doing that.
Yeah,
So
well,
you know,
he knows he comes from the area where there's more Eagle fans. So
right.
you know, it is what it is. They're going to get crushed on. Oh yeah, they're going to get crushed. I think it's going to be a blowout. I said this, and I'm going to throw this out here to you, but I said this in a video earlier this week. I'm predicting, and I know this is a hot take. I got a feeling Saquon's getting 2,000 yards again.
Hard to do.
It's never been done. It's never been done in the NFL. No running back has ever gotten 2,000 yards in consecutive seasons. It's never happened.
Yeah.
It's never happened. I think Eric Dickerson came close. I think he had like 2,000 yards, or he had like 1,800 yards, and then like a 2,300, or like not 23, but then a 2,000 yards. I think Barry might have got close, and I think maybe Henry did too. But I think Barkley's getting 2,000 yards. I just got this feeling, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I think he's in his prime right now.
Yeah, as long as his body's good from last year, and it seems like there's no issues with that. I'd be potentially, yeah. I mean, it'd be awesome to see. You gotta make sure guys stay healthy all year. Offensive lines gotta stay healthy. So it's a lot on them too.
Trey Diesel, man, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. He goes, have you all seen next year's Super Bowl logo? If you believe in that conspiracy, Ravens and Lions will be in the Super Bowl. Also, have you seen the price for tickets to the Dallas game? $1,000 for the nosebleeds. Like what? Yeah, Mark said it was like, because he was like, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "Well, how much are the tickets?" He's like, $1,200 for like nosebleed. I'm like, $1,200. Then what? I'm gonna pay another $1,000 to come out and fly out? No, it's like, I'm not gonna $3,000 to go to a game. Sorry.
No,
I love you guys, but we'll meet somewhere else. Now, as far as the logo colors go, right? I guess they're saying this is green, right? But wasn't the logo last year not our colors? Weren't we never in it last year? Like, I don't believe in that conspiracy theory of the logo, because I think there's been 2 or 3 times where it hasn't been green.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I mean, but we'll see.
I don't believe it. But, yeah.
Beast Guard, thank you for super chat. He goes, Parsons wants to be an Eagle so bad. Talk about living rent free in his head. Laugh out loud. I hope we blow them the F out week 1. Oh, I do too. And I think we will. I think the Eagles are going to win that game 34-20. 31-20, 34-20. I think it's going to be close in the first half. Barkley blows it open in the second, and then Dak gets his garbage time statistics and yards, and then scores 20 points. I think the Eagles are going to kill them. I can't wait.
Yeah, not even a word. Mm-hmm.
But who knows, man? Again, I don't know what the league's doing right now. They better not put that stupid rule in. It's so stupid that they want to basically end divisions. I mean, that's what they're doing. I don't understand why on earth they would even consider it. And next week, most likely the push tush is gone. It's gone. The Philly shut is gone. They're gonna ban it next week. So we're not gonna have that to deal with.
Do you think if the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl, they would have so much emphasis on it for these meetings?
I tell you what, I think if the Dallas Cowboys ran it, it would still be in the league. I think if the Kansas City Chiefs ran it, it would still be in the league. I think they're taking it out because they're trying to weaken the Eagles. I mean, there's only one team that can run it as good as us. Nobody else. Buffalo comes somewhat close, but you saw Buffalo go do it. They tried to do it in the championship game, couldn't do it. So how are you banning it because one team does something good? Yeah, it's clearly to weaken the Eagles, but it's not going to work because you know what? You still got Jalen Hurts. You still got Saquon Barkley. You still got A.J. Dillon. All those guys can get short yardage situation anyway. So it's not going to prevent us.
the league is thinking of taking it away to make it fair for other teams that can't do it. The other teams that can't do it and taking it away from us is going to stoop down to their level where they, we have to figure something else out now. So
yeah, Philly has visions of rainbows and what the hell is those
unicorns
called? Unicorns dancing around and said, "Ooh!" You know it. Are you all saying the NFL is rigged? I don't think the NFL is rigged. I think not in a way like not scripted. I think they mess around with the point spreads. I believe the refs always do that. I believe they mess around with the points, but I don't believe they predetermine who wins games. I do think the NBA and the NHL lotteries are rigged. I believe that 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the lottery.
Yeah,
there's
crazy. No way. It's just no way. Jeremiah says, I heard there were these changes, playoffs being made. Yeah, we talked about that a little earlier when we first started. I'll review real quick. The owners want to change the seedings. So basically what can happen is they want to make it so that you're seeded based upon your win-loss record, not whether or not you win a division. So like last year, the second best record in the league was Minnesota. And they were the 5th seed because Detroit won the division. So what they want to make it in that situation, so the Eagles would have been the 3rd seed and Minnesota would be 2. So if you get a wild card team with a better record than a division team, that wild card team gets the higher seeding and you get to play home. Essentially what that does is it ends the division, any meaning to winning the division. There's no reason to win the division. It doesn't help you. It doesn't do anything. So, I just think it's stupid.
No,
it's stupid. And if you end the divisions that way, then eventually you're going to end. The rivalries aren't going to matter as much. Then they're going to say, well, why should we play teams play twice in the, twice a year? Let's play more. Let the teams play more teams, like different teams. It's going to ruin a lot of stuff down the road.
I agree.
It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's not rigged anymore since the refs in Kansas City got caught, right? CD, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mitchell ain't scaring Lamb or Pickens. And I'm sure Lamb and Dallas and Dak Prescott are not scaring Quintin Mitchell or Cooper DeJean. Who comes up with these stupid rules? Yeah, the NFL's commission, and they want to do it. The reason they want to do it was because there was crying last year about Minnesota, and also because they don't like the teams don't play their starters the last 2 weeks of the year. Well, they're not going to do that. Why would they do that if they don't need a game? I would rather deal with the end of the year stuff and make the division like good. You know what I mean? Listen, here's my thing, Joey. If Minnesota was so good that they were the second best team in the conference, why did they lose it in the first round of the playoffs? They still lost to a team with a worse record.
Mm-hmm.
So the home game matters,
It does.
So it's crazy. Roy says, I know you guys touched on it, but I'm generally concerned about not having back-to-back home games. That's a lot of traveling with little rest. That's a recipe for injuries. It's the weirdest. I've never, ever, 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 ever seen that in the NFL, where a team does not get consecutive home games. Players look forward to that. Sometimes, you get 2 games. You'll get, you may get 2 games in a row or 3 games or 2 games in a row and a bye. And you're home. And those guys need that, man. They got to travel every other week. I think it's the league trying to screw the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because they don't
throw us off. They want to throw us off.
Nobody's ever had that happen. Nobody. It is an issue. I think it is an issue. Ken James says, y'all Eagles lost a lot on defense. Darius Slade, Gardner Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, Milton Williams, and Sweat. Yeah, we did. We lost some guys. However, what you have to understand is that besides the CJ Gardner Johnson, everybody else was already going to be replaced. That was going to happen regardless. So I believe when you look at Milton Williams, I feel like they filled that hole. Josh Sweat, I feel like they filled that hole. CJ Gardner Johnson, I think it's that's still a questionable spot. and the Slay spot, we got to see what Ringo's going to do. But it's not as don't buy the whole Big Sills. The whole defense is trash now. That's not the case at all.
No, that's why you draft well. Yep.
No. They hate us because they ain't us. Agreed. What are your? I agree. What are your thoughts on what they do next, like player wise? Do you think they bring in like a corner? Do you think they bring in Justin Simmons? I mean, Justin Simmons is still out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an end of training camp type thing. They like making those last minute signings or trades before the season starts. Like Jahan Dotson, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade was done right before the season started. So if Justin Simmons is going to be here, it's going to be right before the season starts. That's where I have it right now.
Here's what I'll say also, because Werf says all our replacements had sacks in Super Bowl. They did. Jalix Hunt was almost just as effective as Josh Sweat in this playoff run. Nolan Smith played at a Pro Bowl level. Okay. But people act like they act like, oh, you lost these guys, there's nothing you could do. If the Eagles were really that worried and thought they couldn't replace those guys, I don't think they let Josh Sweat walk. I don't think they let Milton. I think they would have figured a way to keep at least one of those guys, like they did with Zach Bond. They viewed Zach Bond as, look, if he goes, we don't have somebody to replace him. Right? That's how they looked at Bond, and they signed him. They didn't feel like that was Sweat. They didn't feel like that with Milton Williams. Maybe, just maybe, that we should trust that they know they've got the guys ready to take those places. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
It's true. 100%.
I love, let's see if I have it. I don't know if I still have it, but I love this is my favorite thing to bring up. I just love bringing this up because this shows you right here. Jalix Hunt can play. Look at his numbers: 10 total tackles, 7 solo, 1.5 sacks in the postseason. Josh Sweat, 10 total tackles, 5 solo, 2.5 sacks. Both his sacks came in the Super Bowl. So Jalix Hunt arguably was playing on the same level as Josh Sweat in the playoffs. I think Jalix Hunt is a star in the making. I mean, I don't know how many times we've talked about that. I think he's a star. Yeah,
and Jalix he didn't start till late in the season. Like he had like an off-season surgery thing. He missed a lot of time. Then he played special teams, and then finally late in the season they put him on the rotation. And yeah, I mean everyone caught their stride, and he's looking to big and better things, man. He's excited.
Yeah, Kyle, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, Eagles Dallas tickets in Dallas only $69. Huh. Interesting. It may be less than that. But Dallas their season may be over by the time we play in the second time. Is Samuel Jr. Yeah, did he sign somewhere?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I want to say he went to Buffalo, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Dre Diesel, thank you for super chat. He goes, teams should be making moves after June 1st, right? Yeah. You're gonna see like moves like the Darius Slay move, right? Like that's technically June 1st, but they don't really post it. That's why if you go like over the cap, you'll see the name scratched that like crossed off, but it's not off the books yet. I think June 1st is where we're going to try. I think the Eagles are going to try to trade Bryce Huff. I don't believe Bryce Huff will be on this roster week 1. I don't think he will.
I don't see. I'll be shocked if he even shows up. I'll be shocked if he makes it to camp. I really will be. The competition at edge rusher is crazy.
They're going to trade him. I think they're going to trade him, and they may wait to they may do it the last week of preseason. It may be one of those moves where let's wait, let's go to camp with them, let's see what's going on. Team has an injury, they need a pass rusher. That's when we trade. We'll trade him for 2035 7th round pick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point.
It doesn't matter. We'll just get him off the books. But I just can't see Bryce Huff being on this team. Now when you have Uche, you have Ojulari. At times, you hope to use Paris Campbell as an edge rusher. There's no way I can see it, dude.
Even the Antoine Powell-Ryland Jr. and some of these other
kid,
guys,
man. Dude, that kid. I don't know why he gives me Trent Cole vibes. I get Trent Cole vibes with him. you know.
Mm.
And I'm telling people, man, people are sleeping. I've done videos. They're sleeping on Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt is going to start, and he's going to be good for a long time.
He will.
Tim says Hurts will put up 3 touchdowns on Dallas, 500. I'm calling it now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Troy says didn't I read he was taking a pay cut? Who? Bryce Huff? Oh, that's interesting. Bubba says, did you hear that we're interested in Chris Olave, the wide receiver for the Saints? The Saints were trying to move him. Yeah, I heard this, but this was like it was from what I gather when I did the research on this, because I was going to talk about it, and it turned out it was a Yahoo Sports, writer suggested it. It wasn't like, as far as what I saw, and if I'm wrong, send me the information. But from what I saw, it was a suggested trade. It wasn't they had discussions about Chris Olave. But I mean, look, I think Chris Olave's got a lot of talent, got a lot of speed. It would be very interesting. But I do think Jahan Dotson's going to be impactful this year. I think he's going to be much better,
Oh, Jahan has got it's a contract year technically, and every ball that gets thrown his way now, he's gonna make the best of it. So, wondering if they're gonna use him a little bit more this year, or I liked how they, I think we were kind of like, man, we would like to get him more involved, but when we got to the playoffs, man, he, there's not much tape on him during the year, so they could do different things with him and kind of catch these defenses off guard.
Yeah,
by playoff time, and it worked. So,
yeah, I agree. Roy says, hey, guys, mark my words. I don't know when, but it will happen. If you go back and look when Barkley was drafted, I said he would be in Philly one day. Now I'm saying Abdul Carter will be. Mark it. Laugh. All right. I'll hear you, man. I hear you. All right. I'll remember it. Ernie says 500. Joey, you were the best. Oh, thank you.
Ernie.
Thank you, Ernie. Niners all damn day. We will run the NFC. You just paid Purdy all that money. Oh, Purdy got paid today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
Purdy got a lot of money. And I honestly don't know what the 49ers are. I don't think the 49ers are better than the Rams. I mean, I don't think so. Right? Didn't they get rid of Bosa? Bosa went to Buffalo, I think. So I don't know.
No,
we'll
that's
see
that's Joey Bosa. That's Joey Bosa.
Oh, Joey Bosa went. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I don't know what the 49ers are going to be. I don't know. I don't think they have. I think they've got cap problems, right? Now, Ayuk, is Brandon Ayuk signed, or is he hold out? Or is he a franchise tag? I can't remember.
He got paid already. He just got a new deal.
Did he get a contract, or did he was it a franchise tag?
No, he got paid last year. He got an extension last year. Then he got hurt,
Oh, I don't remember him getting an extension.
Yeah.
So he's making a ton of money. Yeah, they got to be their cap situation's got to be tough now with a quarterback. Sewell Blaze Daver Super Chat goes, Jahan is everything we wanted Quez to be. I agree. I think a year, I feel like a year, I feel like a year off, like a year of all season being with the Eagles and stuff like that, I think is going to be big for Jahan Dotson, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Philly D, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, appreciate the chat, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think the tag for Dotson would have been like 16 million, which is, it's a big number. So,
yep. Chandre says, we are the superpower champions. Put some respect on Philly name. Repeat, good, clean football will take us back to the big stage again. I agree. I think this is what's going to happen. I think the Eagles go out. I think they run the ball the way they did last year. I think Barkley's going to get 2,000 yards. I'm predicting it now. I know it's first time in history. He's going to have a monster year. And then I think after this year, next off season, I think you're going to see all these teams start to try to do what the Eagles have done with the running game. I think you're going to see a lot of teams go back. One of the things about the Eagles, if you look at the schedule and you look at the teams where we play, right? You look at those teams against the run. All those teams against the run are not good. They're all not good. And you know what it is? The league isn't that great against the run anymore because they're so worried about the passing game. Defenses are built to stop the passing more than the run game. But the Eagles are now one of really the only run teams in the league. I mean, Baltimore can do it too. And I think Baltimore gets away. I think they got away from it too much, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I think what you're going to see is the Eagles dominate through the run. The league isn't really, they're really not adjusted to it yet. And then I think next year is where you see everybody trying to play catch up to the Eagles. The Eagles are about two years ahead of everybody else for the last 10 years. And Howie's always a couple steps ahead of these teams. So I think the run game is, nobody can stop it. Teams aren't built to stop it. And, you know, it'll happen once in a while, sure. But
it's very rare it's going to be stopped.
It's very a year from now, everybody's going to want to have a running team, and they're going to be building to stop the run. It's going to shift back that way. Fullbacks are coming back in style, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Eagles can do what nobody else can do.
Well,
and you know,
Jeffrey Lurie was on WIP, I think, a week ago, and he said that they're going to resurrect the fullback position. So heavily they could be using a fullback. You know, maybe it's Petula's idea or Nick kind of wants it. Like they went with it for a little while, and then when Ben Van Simmeren got hurt, they used it a little bit with a few different guys, and they kind of strayed away from it by the end of the year. So they might get fullbacks involved. If they could find another good weapon on this team, that's another weapon you have, especially in the, you know, maybe a dump off pass to a fullback or something like that, you know. So I think that we're going to see the few guys that are going to be in competition that they think that's going to be running for that fullback spot. So it's going to be interesting.
It is. But I mean, the league, it's the way the league is like, they're not built for teams that run the ball the way the Eagles do. And I just think that's why you look at those teams and all their records against the run aren't good. And the Eagles are going to go out. They're going to do their thing this year. They're going to have the same success they had last year. And then I think that following all season is where you see teams try to get running backs. Teams are going to want to run more, and they're going to be worrying about stopping the run more. Howie Roseman's 2 years ahead of everybody else. Dwight Davis is 500. You're sleeping on the Dallas Cowboys. Come September 4th, the Dallas Cowboys coming into your stadium and cause all kind of havoc.
Yeah. I don't think you can stay with a straight face.
I'm in deep REM sleep, dude. I'm dreaming. I'm sleeping. I got drool coming down my face on my pillow. You're right. I'm asleep. I'm hibernating on the Dallas Cowboys because they stink. Cowboys can't stop the run. You can't stop the run. You can't beat us. Campbell did not sign yet. All the run, Ty Robinson, and thank you for bringing that up real quick. Ty Robinson did sign his contract. So we've got three guys left out. Who we got? Campbell.
We signed Makuba or no?
No, Makuba's still not signed. Campbell's not signed, and then there's one other person. I think Cameron Williams is not signed.
Oh, okay.
So 3 of our 7 draft picks are still unsigned. And I'm curious. I can't wait to see Paris Campbell. Do you think Paris Campbell spells the end of Nakobe Dean?
Potentially. I mean, it depends what they have on the field and if it's working. Like, you know, it's going to be tough. I don't know. I mean, he's not playing this year unless there's injury later on to somebody else that's been starting all year. He's not playing at all this year. I have it as he's not playing this year. I mean, what are they going to do? They're just going to take. What are you going to take? You're going to take Vaughn out. You're going to take Campbell off. He's playing at a high level. I mean, I know with Campbell. I mean, he's got the versatility, so you could do a lot of different things as a coverage linebacker, off ball linebacker, or putting him on the line as well. So they can maybe get Nakobe Dean in the game that way. But for me, unless there's injury, he ain't touching the field.
So he don't touch the field, and he's a free agent. Does he come back cheap on like a 1-year prove-it deal, or does he go somewhere else?
I think you re-sign him maybe at a cheap price just because you only have Vaughn for this year and next year. So it would probably be the smart thing to do is if he looks good when he comes back between the end of this year to another off-season program, if he's back to his normal self, it just depends. I think you re-sign him. He was too good, man.
So good last year. I was so proud of Nakobe Dean last year, man.
Yeah.
He really was good.
Yeah, for the
Bleeding Kelly Green says 500. Joey, did you notice how they scheduled all the outside cold stadiums for the Cowgirls early in the season? How much help do you need? No, I didn't notice that. Let me pull that up right quick. I didn't notice that. So they got Chicago,
Green Bay.
They got Chicago early. They got Green Bay early. They got the Jets early. Wow, you're right. Wow, they got Washington and the Giants in cold weather late. Wow, you're right. They're not going to Chicago in December. Interesting. Listen, it's not going to help them. It's not going to help them. Cowboys got problems. They, in my opinion, they don't stop the run and you don't run the ball well. When you don't do those two things, I don't think you can compete with the Eagles. I just don't. I don't think you can compete with the Eagles. I think they're going to win like 8 games. I have the Eagles around 14 wins. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. I have Washington about 10 or 11, and I have Dallas about 8 or 9. That's what I think is going to be.
Yeah.
So Blaze Davis super chat. Am I tripping or did Philly say Paris? I might have said Paris Campbell.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't even. Yeah,
I didn't mean to, but yeah, I might have. You know, he was on our team last year, so yeah. Christopher Michael, thank you for the super chat. I agree. Look at what the Raiders did. Drafted running backs and invested heavily in offensive line. Dean can't stay healthy, guys. You can't pay someone who's reliable. It's true. That's the issue with him, you know. And Jahad Campbell is going to be. He's the perfect replacement for him, to be honest with you. You know, and then you got the kid Smile Mandan, right? And then you got Trotter Jr., who I like. So
you gotta say this shit. Munden.
That's what Madon. I said.
You did not say Munden. You said Madon. Smile Madon. He's a fucking Italian fucking
dude. That sounds like a Smile Madon. That sounds like a billionaire playboy flying around the world. Come Smile Madon, staying in Vegas. I like it. But no, yeah. I mean, Christopher, it's true. You know, I think that the league is 2 years behind the Eagles, and I think they can't stop the run, and they don't run the ball like the Eagles. 2 years after next off season, everybody's going to want to copy. You watch, and then Howie will adjust accordingly. Rocky Davis Super Chat goes, "What up, guys? Can't wait for week 1. The Cowgirls talking too much. They're talking way too much. There's no doubt about it." Rocky Davis Super Chat, Madonna, yeah. Madonna. Oh my God. Have you seen her? She's like she looks scary now, man. She looks scary.
Is she?
Grizz says only team I'm worried about are the Commanders. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think the Commanders? I don't know, dude. It would not surprise me if they take a couple steps back. It would not.
I wasn't impressed with the offseason and all the money they had. I'm not really impressed with it. They weren't really aggressive. They just retained a lot of guys, and getting Debo, I guess, is good, but it's not really saying too much. But
yeah. Ken James says Week 10 Fat L Eagles CJ Gardner Slake on. Oh, we're so scared. Well, you're gonna have to have the league change the rules. I mean, Green Bay is the biggest. Sorry, but your front office is the biggest bunch of babies ever. The biggest babies in Green Bay front office crying about the tush push. We can't stop the tush push. You can't stop Barkley. You can't stop Hurts.
Nobody.
Losing Slay and CJ Gardner-Johnson isn't going to stop anything. You're taking a beating no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's the way it has to be. Surprise team of 2025. I'm going to say Chicago.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I like the coach that they hired. I think they've done some good things. They got some weapons.
Do you like the quarterback though?
I like the Washington quarterback better. But I don't think he's necessarily a bust. A lot of people want to say he is. I just think he really needs the right coach. But I We'll see. Like they play the Eagles on Black Friday. The Eagles are going to kill them. That's going to be a blowout game. Why they would put that game on, in my opinion, is stupid. But like, could they beat Washington? I mean, could they beat Chicago? Could they beat like Dallas week 2 or week 3? Yeah, I think they could. They've got some weapons. I like the tight end they drafted. They've bolstered their offensive line, so they could be a surprise team. But the problem is the division. They got the Lions, they got Green Bay, who are both good, and then I don't know what to make of Minnesota because I don't know how to judge them with their quarterback. McCart, they've got weapons, but do they have a quarterback? That's what we don't know.
Right. That's the question there.
Smile Madon. Yes. That's what I said. That's what I said. 500, the push barely does anything. It's all Jalen and the line, so banning it won't change anything. Just sneak without the players behind Hurts. I agree. There was one time where A.J. Brown was behind him and just turned around and sat down like this.
Yes.
Down like this. And it was a huge meme picture against the Jets, against the Giants.
Yeah.
No, Hurts is the reason why they get it. And he squats whatever he squats. You have Barkley squat at 585 the other day. You have A.J. Dillon squatting ridiculous amounts. Nobody's going to stop them short yardage.
I mean, having Saquon and A.J. Dillon is going to be a nice 1-2 punch.
What I'm saying, like these teams. If you look at these teams. Go look at all these teams that we're playing. Look at their defense against the run. Nobody's built to handle the Eagles. That's why the Eagles are coming with a fullback. That's why they bolstered their running back game. And they're, by the fourth quarter, you're going to be worn out. Okay, if A.J. Dillon stays healthy, right, he comes out, he wears you out. Barkley wears you out. Shipley gets some carries, right? Then you got Hurts still can run. By the fourth quarter, teams are going to be so worn down. The Eagles are going to run away with things. They're going to blow a lot of games open late, It's just the way it's going to be. Teams aren't going to be able to handle it. Their teams are 2 years behind the Eagles. Jeremiah says, let's bring back the 3 back. Have heard something, and then 3 right. We're going to have 3 running backs, no doubt about it. I'm so happy Gainwell is going. I mean, look, I appreciate what Gainwell did, but Gainwell wasn't to me a significant number 2 running back, dude. He just wasn't.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to read this. Leon Banks, thoughts on the new possible playoff change? So lame. We need divisions. Look at the NBA. It's ugly with no divisions. Yeah, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. I absolutely hate it. It takes away the divisions. Then divisions will eventually take away from the rivalry. And then they'll go, why do we need divisions? Why do we got to play these teams twice a year? It's going to ruin the game. I totally agree. It's a really, really bad idea by the football league. Stop trying to fix something that's not broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't take any shit from the NFL crybabies, right? I haven't been this excited about defense since Jim Johnson's defense with the seriousness. Can you think of a better defense? It's all seriousness. The 91 Eagles. I mean, to me, 91 Eagles is still the greatest defense I've ever seen. They didn't have the other side of the ball, though. They didn't have the offense that we have. But in terms of just dominance, that 91 Eagles defense, to me, is still the most dominant defense I've ever seen. Not just for the Eagles, I think ever. They just didn't have an offense. That would be the only one. 3,500, the Packers are going to request extra bye week rest because they are on periods. I know. They're so soft, dude. I just think it's so weak that they were the ones that came out trying to ban it, and they tried to be all like cool, like hide that it was them. You know what I mean? Like you're a bunch of babies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
500, Joey Shakes. Did either of you see the Dr. Pigskin video on too many head coaches call plays? What are your thoughts? I feel like it makes a good case for more CEO type head coaches. Yeah, I think sometimes there's too many play callers. I think part of that problem that Hurts had was there were so many people in his ear. I think Carson Wentz went through that. So I definitely think there's truth to that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I do. And I know and you talked earlier about the offensive coordinator and the questions there. My thing with him is if you were running a offense like Detroit, where you needed to pass more and you needed really sophisticated design plays and stuff, I think I'd be way more concerned. But we know what they're going to do. We know they're running the ball. They're going to run up your ass.
Yeah.
And I think that Hurts has had so many coordinators that he's almost our offensive coordinator at this point.
The problem I have with Patul, and it's not really even a big issue, is that if Patul is the guy for Philly to call the plays, or because I still believe this is Nick's offense, and then the coordinator kind of sprinkles his own thing to it. In 23, when we were we kind of lost our way at the end of the season, and we really didn't change play calling, and Nick was still taking over so much, and Brian Johnson was the scapegoat. Why wasn't Patul named, coordinator, or, at least helped with the playbook, or if Patul was still in the room, why wasn't he involved when everything was falling apart in 23? That's the only question I really have about Patul and why he wasn't involved in 23, at all. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
either. Lucia says, "What up, guys? I didn't know you were streaming. Thanks a lot, YouTube." Oh yeah, no. Look, the first 25 minutes of the show, we weren't even in a feed. We weren't even in a feed. It took a while to show up. I was getting texts, people saying you're not showing up. So it is what it is. But is there anything else, man? We're an hour in. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us today. I know it's a day early. We're supposed to do Saturday, but my kids got plays tomorrow. So I have tickets for that, and it's going to interfere be at the time we would do this. So I can't stream tomorrow. But we did it today, and I thank you, Joey, man, for doing that.
Yeah, of course.
Today.
Of course.
And, is there anything else, man, before we get out of here you want to talk about or say?
I think that's it. I mean, we're going to wait till we're waiting for OTAs. We
got OTAs coming end of the month.
Yeah. And then
we'll OTAs, and then early June we have minicamp, mandatory minicamp. And then that's it.
And then we'll be
and it's nap time.
We'll probably have a few more shakedowns, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll be back for training camp.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Ready to go.
Yep. Let me get this set up.
2 minutes to go. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Philly D, thank you for super chat. He goes, the 91 defense was our offense. It was. If you guys aren't familiar with that defense, they would be out on the field 35, 40 minutes a game and give up 6 points. Teams would go backwards. The only way we scored games, there were games where the only way we scored was the defense would force fumbles or interceptions. They would, pick up a fumble lateral. They keep lateral to each other to score. You couldn't move the ball on them, but they just had no offense. Cunningham got hurt. McMahon came in. He got hurt. It got ugly. But if you put an offense around that team, they would have won a Super Bowl. If Cunningham don't get hurt, they probably win a Super Bowl that year. At least many people think so. But I still think that's the greatest defense I've ever seen. But, the second best defense was last year. I think the last year's team is the greatest Eagles team I've ever seen. Complete team, total team. Mm-hmm. I think it was the best I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I don't think the 04 team that lost to New England would have beaten them. I don't think 2017. I think they would have destroyed the 2017 team, to be honest with you. I just think so. It's just the way it was. Mm-hmm. If Cunningham didn't go down, the team was so good. Yeah, they were great. They were great. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. I think that we're going to end it now. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm sure Joey will have videos out. I'll have videos out. And we'll go from there. Next week we'll be back, I guess, regular day and stuff. So look for that. And we'll see what happens.
All right.
But anyways, with that, we out of here, Joey.
All right.
You ready?
You guys enjoy. Yeah.
All right, guys. Dallas still stinks. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Peace.
Peace.
Come on. Oh, shit! Dad! No! It's over! It's over!
This game is over. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott. Trying to feed the ball. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.